Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Michelle, and today I'm going to be talking about my December plans for homeschooling. So we do our normal homeschooling that we always do during the year, but during December, I also do kind of a unit study about something specific that we want to learn about. In the past, it's been specific holidays or specific people. So we've done a St. Lucia Day. Last year we did a Santa Claus unit study, which I'll link up above if you want to see. It was a lot of fun. We've done Kwanzaa, we've done Hanukkah. So we do focus on, something around the holidays. And this year my plan was to do a European Christmas. And I'm going to flip the camera around and show you kind of how I came up with this idea and then what resources I'll be using. And yes, this is a December themed video with turkeys in the background because I'm filming this. I always film the Saturday before my videos go up. I'm gonna get turkeys in my Christmas video as well, but I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you what I'll be using for this European Christmas theme. So the theme this year came from these books. So every year we go to the Museum of Science and Industry Christmas Around the World. They have trees that are decorated. You can kind of see in here trees that are decorated from all different countries, and they're really big, and they have a really giant tree in the center. And we go almost every year, and it's been a lot of fun. And a couple years back they had these in the books store for sale at the museum, and it's Traditions, a guidebook, and A Season of Celebrating, a cookbook. And we've used these in the past when, again, we've talked about St. Lucia Day. We went through these for that as well. But I was looking at these and I realized that I want to do more cooking this year. Last year for geography, we did, cook across the United States, and my kids loved it and they really do enjoy cooking. So I wanted to cook this year as our activity, because in the past we've done crafts and quilting activities. I want our activity this year to be cooking, being in the kitchen and experimenting with things, especially since we're a gluten-free family. A lot of the cooking we have to alter just because of the flour and things we use are different that are necessarily in the cookbooks, but it's completely doable. And I'm definitely in a place, 5 years into being gluten-free, I can adjust things pretty easily. But I was like, okay, I want to do that. But as you can see in here, there are a ton of options. So I was like, okay, so how am I gonna narrow it down? Now, some of them we have done, like Norway. We've talked about traditions in there in the past. So I didn't want to do that, but I'm like, how am I gonna narrow it down? And then I was looking at the other books I had, and I have this set that my husband got as a gift years ago. It's the Rick Steves European Christmas. You can watch the YouTube video. You don't have to buy the actual DVD anymore. I think it's from almost probably 20 years ago. But, it's still relevant to today. It's still going to talk about the traditions and have a documentary. So it's a Rick Steves European documentary. Christmas, but you can see this on YouTube for free. You don't have to actually have it, but we just happen to own it. Same with the book. And I'll have to say the book, again, you don't have to have the book because I was watching some of the sections, and besides the recipes and little details, there's some extras in here, but most of the sections are covered in the documentary as well. This has the exact pictures they show in the documentary. That they're actually going through these places. There's a little bit extra in here. Like I said, sometimes there's some graphics and there is sometimes recipes in here. That's the only difference. So we won't actually be utilizing the book because we're going to be watching the documentary, but it is an option. And it also came with music. And I thought this was really cool. So we can listen to music from different areas. So again, I was looking at this and I was looking at the options because it's Europe. So I was like, okay, so we have 3 weeks in December to do this because we take the week of Christmas off. So I knew I had 3 weeks. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna choose 3 countries. And again, we have talked about Norway traditions already. So I went through and I was like looking at the book, figuring out what I wanted to talk about. So I chose 3 countries. And that was based on one, my 8-year-old loves to learn about Italy. Again, she's the one that has celiac disease. She can't have anything with gluten. There's actually, Italy is very celiac friendly, you wouldn't think because of all the pasta and bread, but they're trained on cross-contamination. They understand that it's a medical condition. It's a lot better food to be eaten there's a lot of better food options in Italy for someone with celiac disease. So she wants to go there someday. So I knew I had to choose Italy for her. And then the other two were up in the air, and so I figured out which two I was going to do with that is I looked at the cookbook. And again, it has all this. This entire thing is recipes from different countries, but you can tell it does have in the back index by country, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to see what kind of recipes would be available and if we'd be able to do it. So I looked at the different options, and what I ended up going with, obviously we were going to do Italy. That's a given. And then I was looking at the other options, and I chose Switzerland. And then I chose Germany. So I could see those different recipes. And again, they're not categorized by country in here. They're categorized by, appetizers, desserts, things like that. But you can reference in the back if you're looking for specific countries. And again, looking at Germany, and it will tell you, right here where it is. Looking at Germany, we can make a whole meal. We can do, we already really like red cabbage. We can do things with that. We can do a couple desserts. And again, one of the things my kids really liked about our geography unit last year was they got to choose which recipes to make, and then we made them. So that's my plan, is I'm going to give them the 3 countries. They're going to go through the book and decide which recipes we're going to be making. But I think this is a really awesome book. I don't know if you can buy it online through the museum, but I bought mine in the museum gift shop. But it's been really awesome. And again, we're going to cross-reference that with these, which goes over specific traditions. And again, it's not super long because you can see they cover a wide variety of countries in here. But for example, let's look at Italy. So you can see it's not long at all. So that was kind of how I narrowed down what countries I was going to do. So after that, I said, okay, now I need to outline what I'm going to do. And when I outline what I'm going to do, I always do it on Microsoft Word. One, because I don't want to lose it. Paper gets used for many things in my house. So I wanted to have a hard copy of it. And 2, my son is 4, and there's a big chance we might come back to these themes when he's older and able to remember more. So I want a copy of this, and I do have a folder on my computer that labels all these things where I can find them further. But European Christmas, so Italy, we're gonna start with the traditions book. So we will read the quick little spread. And again, we'll do 1 country a week. So we'll do the quick little spread. We're going to watch the documentary from Rick Steves. And again, I think the documentary itself, each section is not very long. Because again, they're covering a lot of different countries. I think maybe, 8 to 10 minutes per country is what you're going to get. Sometimes even 5. There's not a lot to talk about. So that's only going to take about 10 minutes. We're going to look or listen to some of the music from that country. We're going to then pick our food that we will be making, and we will most likely do our study on a Wednesday, but not cook until a Friday, because I do my grocery shopping Friday morning. So that's probably when we will do the cooking. So the cooking will not happen the same day of, but we don't have a lot going on Friday. And again, I do my grocery shopping, so it'll be easier to do that. So we'll do food, and then I wanted to do specific books themed around it. So for Italy, I picked up 2 from my library. And these are just picture books, Strega Nona's Gift. And then Merry Christmas, Strega Noni. I'm sorry, I don't speak Italian. But I thought this would be kind of a nice cultural reference to it. And then next is Switzerland. I will follow this same thing. I'm going to start with the traditions book. Book, again, just a quick spread, 2 pages. Start with that. We will watch the documentary about Switzerland. Again, I think it's fun for them to visually see those things as well. We will listen to the music, and then they will pick out the food, whatever they want to make that Friday. And then for Switzerland, I couldn't find any picture book themed, either about Switzerland or takes place in Switzerland or written by an author from Switzerland. I had a lot of trouble finding something for that. So if you know of something, please let me know in the comments below. And it doesn't have to be Christmas related. It can be winter related or something traditionally about Switzerland. So I'm open to ideas if you have any. Next would be Germany. Same plan as we did last 2 countries. Little easy spread. We will watch the documentary. We will listen to the music. They will pick out their food, whatever recipe they want to use for that. And then for books, I have 2 options. The first one is, this is what my library had, and it's Classic Christmas Stories. And this one tells you what country the stories are from. So you can see here, there's a German fairy tale by the Brothers Grimm, The Elves and the Shoemaker. And there's also an Italian one that we'll read as well, Befana and the Three Wise Men. So I already have that marked, The Elves and the Shoemaker. That will be for Germany. And again, it's not super long, because again, it's not to stress the kids out or give them a ton of work. It's just to be culturally introduced to different areas. And traditions that those areas have. Now, the other one I have for this, I believe it's by the same people, it's A Very German Christmas, and that's on Hoopla. So I'll put a picture up here for you guys to see, but I'm gonna be looking through that as well, see if we wanna add some stories from that. So that is how I came up with my European Christmas idea, the plans I have laid out, the books, the resources I plan on implementing. And again, I just want it to be a fun experience where we're culturally learning about different traditions, different groups of people, how they celebrate. I do think that's really important that my kids understand that the way we celebrate is not always the way everybody else in the world celebrates. That's important to be culturally aware. And then we will, of course, end this by going to the museum and seeing the Christmas trees once again. I think it'll be a really fun December unit study to do, because we're reading books, we're cooking, we are learning about different areas. I think it's gonna be really fun. So if you have any specific questions, or if you have any Switzerland suggestions, let me know in the comments below. If not, thank you for watching.